Welcome back to the Evo News, a weekly news segment that drops every Friday on the Evo India YouTube channel, where we bring you all of the news update from the automotive world every single week. This week, we're talking about new launches in the country, we're talking about global unveils, we're talking a little bit about motorsport in India, and we're also talking about motorcycles. Now, number one, Audi has opened bookings for the Q3 Sportback. The Sportback is essentially a suffix Audi uses on its four-door coupes, and this is essentially a Q3 with a sloping roofline. The changes to the regular Q3, they are minimal. The car gets the S-line styling kit, so it looks a little more aggressive, and it comes with loud paint options. The one we drove was called Turbo Blue, and it looks really cool. The tweaked styling also makes it slightly longer and slightly lower, and that really changes the stance of the way the Q3 Sportback looks. It looks very good. You have a lot of people giving it attention on the road. People were whipping out their phones, taking pictures of it. This is not something you see them do for the regular Q3. So yes, it does look very good. Mechanically, it remains the same to the regular Q3. You've got the 2-liter TFSI engine. It makes 187 bhp, 320 Nm of torque. And when I drove the car, in terms of the way it drives, it actually drives really similarly to the regular Q3. You've got the quick responses, you've got the refinement, you've got the same sharp shifting DCT transmission. You've also got very good ride quality, very good handling chops. The only real compromise you're going to have to make is to the space in the back seat. The headroom, it is a little compromised. The boot space, it is a little compromised. That aside, it's really similar to the regular Q3. And the way it looks really good. Now, prices aren't out yet, but expected to be a little more expensive than the regular Q3. The Q3, it costs rupees 50.4 lakhs ex-showroom for the technology variant. And this, I expect it to be a little more expensive, maybe 54 lakhs ex-showroom. That is a fair bit of money, but then again, the only other luxury SUV coupes are the X4, the Mercedes-Benz GLC coupe, and those are a whole segment above. So this will make the Q3 actually one of the more affordable luxury SUV coupes in our country today. Bookings for the Q3 Sportback are open, and you can go put down 2 lakh rupees for one today. Now, the Hyundai Creta has also received an update. This is not a facelift, so you don't see changes to the nose, the face, the interiors too much. The changes are mainly to the engine, in upgrading it to the latest RDE, or real driving emission norms, that are coming into effect later this year. There are no changes to the engine lineup, so you still get the 1.5 NATAS petrol engine, you get the 1.4 turbocharged petrol engine, and the 1.5 diesel engine. However, the petrol engines are now E20 compliant. Meanwhile, the diesel engines now use an SCR emission system to limit their emissions on the road. All engines now get a start-stop system across the range, again, to aid emissions. The current variant lineup also gets an update in terms of the features that it gets on lower variants. So now 6 airbags, hill hold assist, rear disc, height adjustable seats, ISOFIX mounts. These are all standard across the Hyundai Creta range. All of these features, they were available on the Creta, but they were available on higher variants of the Creta earlier. Prices have obviously gone up between 20 and 45,000 rupees depending on the engine, and the entry point to the Creta range is now at rupees 10.84 lakhs ex-showroom. This is with the 1.5 NATAS petrol engine, and the lineup with that 1.5 engine goes up to 17.63 lakhs. The turbocharged engines, they cost rupees 15.79 lakhs for the lower variant, 18.34 lakhs for the higher variant. There's only 2 variants with the turbocharged engine, and interestingly, the prices for these 2 variants have not changed. The diesel prices, they start at rupees 11.89 lakhs ex-showroom and go all the way up to rupees 19.13 lakhs ex-showroom. Similar RDE updates with the compatibility with E20 fuel have also been made to the Alcazar and the Venue, along with the Creta. Now, coming to global unveils. Last week I told you about the GLE and the GLE coupe that were unveiled by Mercedes-Benz, and BMW has hit back with the X5 and X6 facelifts to take these 2 cars on. The styling of the X5 and X6, they have been tweaked, but they're nowhere close to as outlandish as on the X7. When the X7 got its facelift, it was a radical change. The X5 and the X6, not so much. The X5, it now gets slimmer headlamps, it now gets an illuminated kidney grille as an option. The bumpers, they have been restyled as well. With the X6, you now get the M Sport kit as standard. So that aggressive face, that's the only face that you can get the X6 with. The interior now gets those twin curved screens that have been making an appearance across the BMW range. The twin screens for the infotainment system and the instrument cluster, and they're actually rather good to use. Like the X7, it also gets a redesigned dash with slimmer aircon vents and a stubby gear selector. In terms of the engine, you continue with 6-cylinder petrol and diesel engines. The petrol engine makes 375 bhp and 520 Nm of torque, increasing the power by 46 bhp and 70 Nm respectively compared to the previous version of this engine. The diesel engine, it is also updated and it now makes 294 bhp and 670 Nm of torque. All the engines now come with a mild hybrid variant, so expect that when it launches in India as well. There's also a V8 and a plug-in hybrid on sale in international markets, but I doubt we'll see those in India. The X5 and X6 will come to India, definitely. They are important models for BMW in the country, and we should see them in India later this year. The next two cars I want to talk about are two special edition cars. Lamborghini has unveiled two one-off models to celebrate the end of their pure internal combustion naturally aspirated V12 line. They are called the Invincible and the Authentica, and they are based on the Aventador, but they've got radically different styling. They pick up elements from Lamborghini's past, so you look closely and you'll see a little bit of the Reventon in there, you'll see a little bit of the Sesto Elemento in there, a little bit of the Essenza SCV12 in there, or even a little bit of the Veneno. So these two models, they're an amalgamation of a lot of design elements and they look very different from anything Lamborghini has ever launched before. These cars, they have been created for a customer, and the customer, they say, was involved in the design process from the very start. If Lamborghini is making two one-offs for you with their last V12s, you must be a very special customer. Now, something huge that is happening on the motorsport front is Formula E. In India, the Hyderabad E-Prix is taking place in Hyderabad, and it will happen this weekend, right after this video drops. By the time you see this video, the race weekend would have already started, Friday practice sessions would have been done, and this is significant because this is the first time in a very long time that a top flight global motorsport series is being held in India. This is also significant because we have two Indian teams on the grid. We have Mahindra Racing, which has been around since the first season of Formula E actually, and also the Jaguar TCS team. If you're a motorsport fan, you should be in Hyderabad this weekend watching Formula E live. But if you can't make it, make sure you tune in on Discovery Plus. They will stream the races live. Sirish, Anand and I are going to be on ground at the E-Prix, giving you live updates on our social media and on our website. So stay tuned to that. On the motorcycle front, we have spotted test mules of a new Aprilia out and about testing in India. We suspect it is the new RS440, a fully fed motorcycle that will take on the likes of the KTM RC390 and the Ninja 400. We expect it to have a parallel twin, and from the images we can also see that it has USD forks and pedal discs. Details are scarce and we honestly don't do much. Everything that I'm saying right now is honestly speculation, but we do think it will be launched later this year and local production could be on the cards. But don't get too excited. Don't expect RC390 like pricing. Firstly, if it's a twin, it will be a little more expensive. And secondly, it is Aprilia. They do command a premium over other brands, and you can expect that when this bike is launched in India. Now, the other motorcycle I want to talk about is not speculation, though the spec sheet does sound like it. This is the Ninja ZX-4R, and it is absolutely wild. It's a tiny 400cc motorcycle with an inline 4 that makes 79 bhp. An inline 4. When was the last time you heard of a 400cc inline 4? And the best part, it revs all the way to 16,000 RPM. That should just give you an idea of how serious this motorcycle is. It gets a bespoke trellis frame and Showa forks. There's an SE and an RR variant as well with better suspension componentry. There are twin 290mm discs up front, a single 220mm disc at the rear, and the weight is just a cool 188 kilos. It also gets a proper suite of electronics with riding modes, with traction control, power modes. Will it come to India? Honestly, we can't say for sure, but Kawasaki does bring a lot of its global products to the Indian market, and there's a high possibility that this might come here as well. That's it for the news of the week this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like down below. Leave a comment. Let us know your opinions on everything we spoke about. Let us know what you'd like to see on the news of the week next week. And thanks for watching. See you next time.
Thank you.